So now I'm up to the second floor tutorial in terms of putting in the bathrooms. I have a bathroom over here. I have a bathroom over here. I have a bathroom over here. And I have the master bathroom over here. So each bedroom gets its own bathroom, which is really nice. But I know that this will probably work. This might not. I might have to modify that one. But for sure, I need to modify this. And I have a couple options here. I need more space. So I can move this wall back. I could move this wall forward. And my first reaction would be, yeah, let's move this wall forward. But I want to look at it first of all and see what's going on here. And there's nothing to prevent me from moving that wall forward. And if I look at my distances, I'm going to put a dimension in here. If I move that wall forward enough, I'm already almost 17 feet. So I don't need any more space in the bedroom. And while I'm looking at this, I want to change. Notice that there is a white box around the text and it hides what's below it. So I'm going to change the properties of my dimensions. So let's see, if I go over, edit the type, and say that I do not want it to be opaque. I want it to be transparent. Watch what happens. Now that white box goes away. But nonetheless, though, what we're looking at is the fact that this bedroom is big enough. So I could move just this part of the wall out that way. And that would make it a more difficult construction process, and it would change the looks of the front of the house, which may or may not be a bad thing, but then that would put another projection out here. So my solution would be to move it back. I'm going to take this wall and simply move it back. And I don't know how far I have to move it back yet, so let's say this is the bathroom. I'm going to have a 2-foot counter on this side, a 3-foot walkway, and then a tub or a shower. So and the tub or shower is 3 feet or 2'6". So I have 2 feet plus 3 feet is 5, plus 2'6" is 7'6". So this wall has to be a minimum of 7'6", and it's only 4'11". So I'm going to change this to 7'6". And there's my closet. And it's also giving me an error message to say that the wall goes through the door, which is kind of a nice message to have. So I'm going to measure this. And a minimum walk-in closet is really 5'6", but that's not acceptable, not really usable. So I'm going to make it 6 feet. Click on this wall. It's not stacked, so I can just change the dimension here, and I'll make that 6 feet. And now I know that I'll have enough room to put in my bathroom, but I have to move that door back that way. This door, let's see. It'd be nice to have a window. Let's go back and look at the 3D view. It looks like I can put a little window over here on that side. So when I'm looking at this, I have room to put a little window right here. And that means I can put my vanity all the way across here. Let's see, what do we have for a distance this way? 8'2". So the tub is 5, and then the toilet is 3, so that's 8 feet. Really should be a little bit more than that, but I think we can, instead of having the 3 feet for the tub, we can have a couple of inches less. I'm sorry, 3 feet for the toilet. We can have a couple inches less, and that'll make sense as I lay it out. So let's delete these guys and just get them out of the way. This dimension, I don't need it. So we'll delete that. Okay, so let's move this guy. When I see the arrows where my mouse is, I can just drag it back. And for now, I'll just do that. So the question is, do I want if I put the tub and the toilet over on this side, I could have a window on this side of the, on this side and this side of the toilet, and then have the tub, and then this would be the vanity. That's putting some plumbing on the outside wall. But I think that's what I want to do. So I'm going to pull this back a little bit and put my vanity over here. Remember how we did that? Architecture, model in place, our component, still casework. Casework 9. I'm going to make an extrusion, and I'll just draw my rectangle again from here down to here. If I could snap to 2 feet, that'll be fine. Doesn't look like I'm doing a very good job of snapping to 2 feet. So I'll just click right there, and then I'll put in a dimension and tell it that I want it to be 2 feet. So I'll click over here, there, change that to 2 feet. So there's my vanity now. Okay. And if it turns out that I don't like it, I can always change it. Starts at 3 feet. I'm sorry, it stops at 3 feet, starts at 2 feet 10. It's made out of the porcelain tile. I'm going to say okay to that. And I'm going to say okay to that. Now I put my countertop in. Let's put a tub in. I don't think I have a tub loaded. So insert, load a family. Let's go up to the Imperial Library. And let's see, what do we want to put in here? That's plumbing and architectural. Remember, we'll go back to fixtures, and now we're looking for bathtubs. So I'll pick a bathtub here. Looks like that's pretty good. The image now is telling me that it's wall hosted, which means I have to have a wall. It's not floor hosted, it's wall hosted. So I have to have a wall to put that tub on. So we go up here to architecture. We say component. We see that it's the tub. See what my options are for that tub. It's just this one. So I'll say okay, and see how it's looking for a wall to host it. So I'll put it right there. And I didn't quite get it in exactly right because I wanted to go up against here. And there's my tub. Now I'll go back to architecture component, and I'm going to look for a toilet this time. So I'll search TOI. Let's see what comes up. There's my 3D toilet. I'm going to put it right here. Let's spin it around. Put it right here. I'm probably going to put another wall between the. Look at that. If I use a 3-foot door, which is absolutely unnecessary into a bathroom, but it's nice to have the bigger doors. So I can't fit a 3-foot door in the space that I left. So I have to either move this back another foot so I can have 6 inches on each side. So I'll have a 4-foot walkway, or make the door smaller. So I'm going to make the door smaller. But let's put a wall, create similar. Finish face is my where I'm going to show it. I'm going to bring it to here, but I want it on that side, so I hit the space bar. And now I have a wall that this tub is in, because it'll probably be a shower, and so I need a wall on this side so that I can tile these 3 sides of the wall. So let's measure. What do we have? Make it equal. Looking for the equal button that's up here. I'm going to say escape, escape, delete it, say okay to that. And let's just see. I need at least 30 inches here. What do I have? 34. Okay, so by the codes, that would be fine. Now, let's change the door size. What are my other options here? I have 32 by 84, 30 by 84. Oh, let's make it 30 by 84. And then let's center that on the tub and the vanity. And I'm looking for my equal right here. Okay. So I will delete that and get rid of the constraints. And now that's fine. I don't have the full 6 inches return on here that I want, but that's all right. And then over here, we're going to put in that sink again. Component. Now we're looking for the sink. So I'll just type SINK and see what pops up. There's my vanity sink, 19 by 19. I'll put it right in the middle. I don't know if that's the middle. Let's see if I can grab that. I know that it's got to be 5 inches higher than it is inserted, so I'll change that to 5 inches, and that brings it up. And now let's click on this. Oh, not yet. I'm going to make sure the sink is centered, so I'm going to go measure from here to here to here, looking for my equal sign. Now my sink is centered. So I click on the dimensions, delete it. And I don't have to go down and click on this. I can just hit the enter key and that accepts the choice there. Remember, we need to cut a hole there, edit in place. And I'm going to make a void form, void extrusion. I'm going to pick lines and offset by 1/2 inch, 0.5 inches. And now I'll come over here and offset here and here and here and here and here. And then that last line, I don't want to offset. I just want to go straight across. So I'll make it 0 and connect these two lines. Okay. And I like that. I'm going to say okay. Then I'm going to say cut. And so now it's cut into my opening. Okay. It's in the right spot. Let's put the mirror in. Let's put the mirror all the way across. Remember that mirrors make the room look bigger, so there isn't any problem with that. I'm going to actually do a component that's modeled in place. We'll still call it casework. Okay. Okay for casework 10. I'm going to do an extrusion with this rectangle. Just come over here and click the edge of the wall. And I'll come over here and click the edge of the wall. And then I'm just going to come back, dimension this guy from, I'll put the dimension in again. I'm going to dimension from here to here. I only want it to be 3/4 of an inch thick. So if I click on this line, change that dimension to 3/4 of an inch. Now it's the right thickness. What's the material? Tile. I'm going to change it to mirror. I'll just type mirror up here. Double click on that, changes the properties of this, but remember 3 feet is where it ends, and I'll change that to 6 feet. And 2 feet 10 is where it starts. That would be below the counter, so I'll just make it 3 feet. And I'll say okay. And I will accept that. And let's move this, accept that as well. We'll move this down and take a look at what we have here. Go to the view. And here we go. My countertop, my mirror, which I'll just drag it all the way up to the top. A lot of people don't do that, but I like it. And actually, the mirror should not probably sit on the countertop because it gets wet. So when I built my house, all of my mirrors go right down to the countertop. And over the course of time, water's got behind some of those mirrors, and it starts to take the coating in the back of the mirror off. So that's a bad thing. It really should have a backsplash there. But for purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to let the mirror go all the way down to there. And you certainly can too. Okay, so look at what we have. All we have to do now is what? To put in a base cabinet and a couple drawers on both sides. So let's go back to the first floor. I want to see this view, but I want to flip it. We'll go to the view, and let's just type WT. Look at all the things that I'm going to have there. But I should be able to work from there. So in my, I'm looking for my second floor plan, which is here. I don't need the first floor, so let's close that. In my second floor plan, I want to put this object in here, right? So I'm just going to right click and say create similar, come over here, place it right there for now. I want it centered on the sink. And what else do I want? I want this guy, all the drawers, create similar, come over to here, put it in, and I'll mirror it once I get it correct. Okay, so let's find the center line of the sink. Is it? Yep. And then I want to find the center line of that cabinet. Then I can take that cabinet, that's my base cabinet, and I can put it all the way, align it to the outside face of the gypsum board. And then I can align this guy with this edge. And let's look at it, and let's move this guy back. So I might have to align it again. And let's look at that in section now. So I'm going to close my 3D, and I don't need any more over here, so I'll close this guy too. Okay, there's my section. There's my floor plan. So I can take a look at that. And I really don't need the 48 incher. So let's see what other options we have. Under cabinet style. instead of being 48, let's make it 45. See what happens there. Still got some weird materials. I'm really not changing it because of the size constraint, but it looks like there's some issues with the materials that are there. Still doing the same thing to me. But that's enough. I'll have to go back in, and I was being lazy and just trying to get one that already had it, the right materials. So line that up over there. Let's measure what we have left. We go from the face here over to here, and my distance is 2'3", so that's 27 inches, 27.5 inches. So let's change the width of that to whatever's close to 27. 24 is the widest that we have. So I'm going to edit this type, duplicate it. I'm going to make a 27-inch, and I'll change the width of that from 1 feet to 27 inches. And say okay. Now if I align this over here, I have some nice drawers on that side. And the reason I didn't put anything on the other side to begin with, because I can now mirror it about there. And my 27, okay, so we got a problem. What's wrong? Oh, okay. I must not have picked the center line of the cabinet. Okay, now it fits. So now I got my base cabinets, and I got those and those. I got my mirror, and I just need to align these guys. So I'll use this face right here and pull him to there and pull him to there. Still showing a little gap over here. Not sure why that is, but I'm going to align it. So I'll use the align tool, align here and here. So we'll use a little filler over here. And there should be the same amount of filler on this side. There isn't because something's not centered. Maybe it's the sink, but that's fine for now because they're not going to build cabinets based on our drawings. First of all, the wall might not get exactly put in where we show it. And so the cabinets have to be built to fit in between those spaces. But the general procedure is for the cabinet maker to come out and field measure what the existing conditions are. They're not going to rely on my floor plans or your floor plans because sometimes they just don't get built exactly that way. So I'm happy with everything I'm seeing here. So save that. And then there's one other thing I wanted to show. Let's go back to the first floor. And in the previous demonstration, we showed I just wanted to demonstrate what's going on with the mirror. So here's how the mirror actually reflects the sink. And I put a person in from the entourage folder, but it didn't really work that well because it still only has like a line instead of a three-dimensional view. But I put a person in because I wanted to reflect that person in the mirror, but you can still see how that mirror works because it's reflecting the sink. It's reflecting exactly what it sees on this side of it. And it's reflecting the wall and all of the other things, and the person too, although it's not a three-dimensional person. So we have succeeded in putting in another bathroom. So I'll end this tutorial right now.